What's up, guys? I'm Noah. This is CabbageTalks, and today I'm going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Heard about it, I guess, like months before this past summer. I found out Michael Bay was directing it, and I may not be the biggest Michael Bay fan. And then I found out Megan Fox was the lead as April O'Neil, and I was like, okay. But I'm still gonna see it in theaters because it's TMNT. I mean, I guess you could say I'm a pretty big fan.
You did such a great job with the boiler last time. Please can you mend my baby? He hasn't moved for 3 weeks.
I have had a terrible premonition.
She was fine. She did her thing. There's so much noise going out. Like, as soon as I record, everything comes out. Anyway, yeah. April, they did fine with her, honestly. I know you guys can hear that. I love birds. Believe me. I like this sound typically. I'm gonna try to ignore it. But when I'm doing this, Jesus, you're combining your efforts. Oh, it's a cardinal. Cardinal alert.
Don't they use coffins when they are that small?
We have April and Vernon. April was played by Megan. She didn't butcher April's character. She did okay. She did fine. And she looks good for movie posters, I guess. So there's that. Vernon. Will Arnett plays Vernon. And this was something that I was excited about. One of the two characters that I was very excited about seeing, because I'm a huge fan of Arrested Development, and you can see, if you've ever seen Arrested Development, you've seen this movie, Job is all up in Vernon a little bit. Like, you can see little spouts of Job, like, where it just kind of like oozes out of Vernon. And of course, Vernon is much different than the original show. Of course, in the original show, he's more of a rival to April.
Where the devil's April? She's been gone almost a day.
Well, it's not like she was irreplaceable or anything.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
And they're kind of against each other, and he's not really a main character at all by any means. Leo, they did an alright job with him. Raph, they did a really good job with Raph. Mikey, they did pretty well. But I want to talk about Mikey for a little bit. He's always going to be the cheesy, kind of corny, goofy guy, and he's always going to be the guy that, you know, kind of messes things up. Mikey wasn't... He was less like the goofy one. He's the party dude.
Was it that funny?
You can compare, actually, 2 episodes, one from this show and one from this show. Turtle Titan, that episode can be compared to Michelangelo meets Bugman in this show. I'll put a side-by-side image to show you guys. Mikey feels somewhat, useless. He feels kind of underappreciated. He just doesn't feel like he's reaching true potential. Well, then he meets a superhero, and he wants to join them and all that. And he learns a lot from the experience. I mean, he learns that his place is to be a ninja. He's not supposed to be a superhero. He's not supposed to be out trying to get credit for everything that he does. I mean, you're a Ninja Turtle. You're a Ninja Turtle. Then you have Donnie. Donnie, they did very well. So those are the Turtles. Splinter was voiced by Tony Shalhoub. Yes. I love Monk, so, when I heard that he was going to be voicing him, I was like, really? Him?
Her?
No, him. When I heard he was going to voice Splinter, I was like, that's awesome, but I hope, it works. And it worked. I mean, it worked. It wasn't the typical, you are my son, But he did a great job, I think. I think that has to be said. No, Shredder is just... They did Shredder horribly, in my opinion. For one, the main thing, they showed his face way too early. You never show his face up until the end. In this show, they didn't show it. And they could have shown it, but they didn't show it. This show was so cartoony, it wouldn't have mattered. There's not really a huge scare factor or anything like that. This movie, of course, they didn't have him. But in this movie, they had him. And he was menacing. They did not show his face until the very end. And that matters. When I saw his face, his just kind of messed up face, not even like scarred, because the origin story is different. So Splinter didn't scratch him. I'll get to that in a second. When I saw him, I was like, well, threat neutralized. I mean, I know what you look like. It's just like there's a kind of like feeling you get when you see Shredder and you don't see his face and you're just like, man. I mean, there's a mystery in masks. There's a mystery in that, and when you lose that in the first 10 minutes of the movie, you lose some people. The origin story I did not take that much. That was another weak point, personally for me. And maybe it's just because it's so much different. I just had a problem generally with the origin story. I didn't like how they kind of tried to connect April to it, because she didn't have to have a connection with the Turtles from birth. I mean, I'm okay with the kid dropping his fishbowl into the grate, but I understand they're trying to do something different, so I'm not gonna bash them too much for it. I also thought the Turtles were too big. I mean, in the original, not the original, sorry. Well, yes, in the original, they're even shorter than in this show. In the 2003 show, this is how tall they all are. 5'2". In this, they're even shorter. To see them like 8 feet tall, it was disorienting at first. I was like, what the heck? Why are there 4 Hulks and why do they have shells? Because the cool thing about all the previous Turtles is they're a bit humanized. As a Ninja Turtle movie, as a Ninja Turtle production, I'll give it an 8. As a movie overall, just overall movies, 7.5, 8. It was good. So anyway, guys, I thought it was a good movie. I liked it. I would like to know what you guys think, so don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below. Talk to you guys later. I just got one thing to say, though. That is... Okay, no. The real question is, how the heck do you play this game? seriously, if anybody knows how to play this game, please enlighten me. Let's go.